Good morning. You are Richard Vullery,
Yes, ma'am.
and Mr. Vullery is charged in cause number 25 DCCR 1746 with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Miss Malfino and the state has filed a motion asking that I increase that bond, which is currently set at $20,000. Miss Malfino.
Judge, I spoke to Mr. Collier, the complainant in this case, and filed that motion to increase or modify as he chooses. Based on that conversation, he has some concerns that Mr. Vullery is contacting him or driving by places where he either resides or works, so on and so forth. So I've just asked if the court is not inclined to increase the bond at this time, if you will just admonish him about what a no contact order in your complaint.
I will. Do you have any witnesses?
Judge, I had asked him to be here this morning. He called very early. He had a medical emergency and needed to go to an appointment. They had called him in with some abnormal results and he needed to take care of that.
Mr. Let's see, is a GPS a condition of this bond at this time?
I don't think so, Judge.
So here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Vullery, based on the nature of the offense and what Ms. Malfino is relaying to me. I'm not going to increase the bond today without witnesses and things like that. However, I am going to modify the condition of your bond so that there's no issue, hopefully, with where you are, where you're not supposed to be and things like that. So I'm going to order as a condition of your bond that you will wear a GPS monitoring device. You will have 24 hours to get that device. You can talk to Mr. Lewis or your bondsman. They can let you know where to get that. You've got to have that on within 24 hours. You obviously have a no contact order already with
Byron Collier.
Byron Collier. And so you're not to be anywhere near, around, or communicate with or contact Mr. Collier. That includes going anywhere near his home and or where he works. Do you know where he works?
I mean, I was going to ask you that question. I just happened to go into the place where he passed by the place where he works. I did not even know he worked, and I seen the gentleman, and I kept on going.
So here's the thing. Now that you know where he works, you need to take a different path. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
So there's always more than one way to get somewhere. So what's the place of business?
It's still furniture.
There is a convenience store, the Chris Food Mart at 3090 Gulf Street, and he also has an antique shop. I don't know the address of that, but I can get it to Johnny's or whoever for the GPS when I'm able to speak with him again.
You know where the furniture store is?
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, I passed right around the corner from my house. I just happened to pass in front of it.
Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
obviously you cannot go to the Chris Food Mart on 3090 Gulf Street. Do you understand? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cannot go there. And you cannot, if there's another way out of your neighborhood or to get around that antique store or furniture store, you're not to go near that as well. Okay. And then, because what can happen is if for some reason he continues to feel like you're doing those things either on purpose, or to threaten or something like that, then we'll end up back in here with probably another motion. We'll have a whole hearing with witnesses and your bond could be raised for not following these court orders and these restrictions, and you could go back to jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it is extremely important that you understand how serious it is not to have any type of contact, and that means just driving by. Okay. Okay. All right. Stay in touch. What?
Do you want to ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah, he does not work at the Chris Food Mart. I said, Chris is telling me to come back and work. And what's the guy's name? Collier, Mr. Collier?
Uh-huh.
He does not work there.
He doesn't work there anymore.
Well, man, and I really need a job to go back to. Mr. Christmas calling me to come back at the front door.
Okay. Let's do this. For now, I'm gonna have it, leave it the same. Will you please make sure of that? Get that information to Mr. Lewis. It's fine with me. If he's not working there and they want to hire you, that's fine. If he's working there, then you can't. But if he's not and just doing the furniture, I don't want him to also prevent Mr. Vullery from being able to work. Okay, so make sure you don't go do that until you talk to Mr. Lewis.
We-
Ms. Malfino will check on that today, get back with you, and then we'll go from there. There's some,
He was on the designation docket last week. So still looking for an attorney. He hasn't qualified.
oh, okay. And yeah, make sure you try to get that taken care of also, which obviously that's why you need to get a job. Okay. Mr. Lewis is your court appointed attorney, but because you bonded out, I expect you again, just like I told you before, nothing's changed. You need to try to still hire a lawyer. And get a job and all of those things. Bring me that information in your next court date, okay? But stay in touch with Mr. Lewis regarding where the Chris Food Mart thing. Okay?
Please.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Good morning. Are you Kaylin Phillips?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Phillips has a motion to revoke her probation and cause number 19-32315. And what is the announcement?
Again, Your Honor, we could proceed on the administrative violations. I would plead not true to any new offense.
So there's no agreement. You just want to go through the motion at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Phillips, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, put your hand in. Thank you, ma'am. And will she waive the formal reading of the motion?
She will.
Ms. Phillips, I have a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. It shows that you were placed on probation September 25th of 2019 for the second-degree felony offense of aggravated assault with a family relationship, and that was a 10-year deferred probation. Is that correct?
Yes,
It alleges you violated your probation. Count one alleges that you committed the offense of driving while intoxicated with an open container, November 24th of 2024. And is that true or not true?
yes,
That's true? I need you to say true or not true.
True.
Thank you. Count two alleges that you failed to provide verification of performing the community service hours as required. Is that true or not true?
true,
Count three alleges that as of November 25th, 2024, you were $2,504.03 behind in your restitution to the victims. Is that true or not true? And then count four alleges that you're behind in your court assessed fees as of November 25th of 2024 in the amount of $6,756. Is that true or not true?
yes,
Did you enter your pleas of true to counsel 1 through 4 freely and voluntarily?
yes,
And did you plead true to those counts because they're actually true?
yes,
All right, then I'm going to find counts 1 through 4, that you entered those pleas of true freely and voluntarily, find those counts true, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty and revoke your probation, but I'm going to reset your case for sentencing so that the probation department can do an updated report. And we'll come back and go through sentencing on that date. Obviously, anything that is important for me to know, make sure you get that information to Mr. Kimler. He'll present it to me on your behalf when we come back. Based on those pleas, do either of you anticipate witnesses?
Or perhaps some mitigation.
Okay.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll just set it for a regular hearing then for sentencing. All right, you're free to go. Ma'am, can you come right up here? She needs a fingerprint. Good morning. Are you Keith John Davis? And Mr. Davis, this is your initial appearance in cause number 26 DCCR 0096. You're charged with the first-degree felony offense of aggravated robbery from October 23rd of 2025. Since you've made bond in your case, have you had an opportunity to try to hire a lawyer?
I've been working on it, but it's a court appointment. So
Right.
I haven't heard anything.
So when you're in custody, we give you a court-appointed attorney automatically. But if you make bond, then I expect you to at least try to hire your own lawyer.
That's what I'm working on. I'm talking to Charles Ross.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is reset your case for about 30 days or so. That'll give you some time to try to get someone hired. If you get someone hired before that next court date, bring the reset notice that you get today to that lawyer and they'll tell you what to do. If you're unable to hire someone before that next court date, then I'm ordering you to visit with at least 3 lawyers. They all charge different amounts. They have different payment plans. Bring me back the names of the people you've talked to so I know you're trying, and then we'll discuss your options. And if you don't do that, then when you come back, you run the risk of me raising your bond for not following that court order and you would go back to jail. Do you understand? All right, if you step in front of the clerk, she'll give you your reset notice. Daryl Albritton
Yes, ma'am.
and Mr. Albritton, did you get someone hired?
But at the moment, I'm working on getting new jobs. They ain't paying me enough
You know, I got bills and I paid out the port.
Where are you working?
It's they
Wait.
ain't giving me no per diem. So I'm gonna go offshore. I'll be able to do it. So I've been talking to people, so
You've been coming here for a long time,
oh,
right?
I might have somebody this time though. I'm talking to a guy named Darryl Wood.
Who'd you talk to this last time?
Ruthie, Whitney Jones, and Todd Ashley.
Speak up, please. I'm sorry.
Rudy, Whitney Jones, and Todd Ashley.
Where are those
They
located?
in Beaumont.
Not a single one of those are criminal defense attorneys here in Beaumont
But they attorney, they lawyer.
that handle criminal cases.
Yeah,
What'd they tell you that they would charge you?
well, you got 35 up front,
Who?
3,500. But some you know, they don't do payment plan, but I found out Darryl Ward, he do payment plans. I
Daryl
found out about-
Ward?
Yeah, I found out about him by dude named Thibodeau out there.
I don't know any of the names you're saying. I've been here for 30 years. Um, so. So what are your hours? How about how many hours a week do you get?
Sometimes he get like 40 hours a week, or
At how much an hour?
there's like 22. But you know, I got child support and I got all that shit.
But I'm looking back now and I don't know how we've let this go.
This is where the courtroom dynamic shifts. Notice how the judge isn't just listening anymore. She's testing accountability. In cases like this, it's not just about what you say, it's about what you've actually done. And right now, a lot of these defendants are running out of excuses. The real question is, who's taking this seriously and who's about to learn the hard way?
So as long as you've had plenty of time to save up. Even if you save $20 a week, you could have been where you needed to be.
You know,
So you got to make this a priority.
yes, ma'am.
I need someone hired before the next court date. This is your final reset. I know you have bills and child support and things like that, but you got a good job, you've got to get some money and save it and get someone hired before that next court date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Step in front of the clerk. Good morning. Are you Brissa De Hoyos? And Ms. De Hoyos, did you get someone hired?
No, ma'am, but I did want to get a court appointed.
Okay. Did you talk to some lawyers like I asked you to?
Yes, and it's in my other phone. It just broke.
You didn't write it down or,
So it was in my notes in my other phone.
okay. Are you working?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I'm looking for a job right now.
Are you? Where are you looking?
I was gonna go back to fast food. I do hair though.
Okay. Well, if you were gonna go back to fast food, when were you gonna do that?
As soon as I get hired,
Have you been making applications?
been to a couple of interviews.
But what?
I haven't been getting any calls back.
How old are you?
19.
I'm gonna have you fill out some paperwork this morning to see if you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. You need to fill it out accurately and completely. You're gonna swear under oath that it's all true and correct, and then I'll take a look at it. Step in front of the clerk and she'll give you that paperwork. Good morning, sir. You're John Gray.
Yes,
And Mr. Gray, this is, I'll say you've been here before. Did you get someone hired?
No, but I am selling my house. We're closing in 60 days. I already got a contract on it. Paperwork. That I can do self-representation.
Well, that's typically not advisable. Did you bring any paperwork to show that your house is under contract by
Not
chance?
in my phone. I've got the contract. Actually signed. It's signed. Day, when, too long ago, last week, I think.
Are you working?
Yeah, I'm self-employed,
Doing what?
self-employed,
Doing what?
state federal labor laws. Poster.
Okay. That's what you're here for and in trouble for, right?
Yes, but no.
Well, here, okay, let's start with this. First of all, as a condition of your bond, I am ordering you not to attempt to sell or go into any business and hold yourself out to work for the Department of Labor or anything. Listen to what I'm saying. You cannot sell any poster or anything that has to do with employment, labor law, anything like that to a business while you're on my bond. Do you understand?
Okay.
You need to go get a job working for someone.
Yeah.
Okay? And so that you can afford an attorney. If you can get one when you sell your house, great, but I'm resetting the case 30 days. When you come back, I want you to either have a job or show me where you have attempted to get a job, and filled out applications or whatever it is. And again, if you are caught continuing to sell or attempt to sell any type of poster or paraphernalia or anything at all, there's no loopholes in what I'm telling you. Cannot do what you've been doing. Do you understand? If you do, your bond will be raised for violating that court order and you'll be back in jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, step in front of the clerk for your reset.
We close 60 days on the.
You're getting a 30-day reset. I want you to do what I asked you to
Yeah.
do between now and then. Good morning, you're Broderick Guillory. Mr. Guillory, did you get someone hired?
Oh, no, I just recently lost my job. I just got a blessing.
Where are you working
I
now?
was gonna have some.
Okay, where were you working?
I was looking at the Golden Pass, Sabine Pass.
Okay, so, but when do you start with this new job?
I started it Thursday of last week.
You already did?
This month.
Okay, so did you talk to some lawyers? Do you know who you're gonna try to hire?
I've been talking to some, but I left the paper that I had at home. I don't know.
Why would you have left it at home when that was one of the only things I asked? Everybody's, it's not hard what I'm asking y'all to do, right? Talk to some lawyers, bring me the names of the lawyers. If you don't do that, then you run the risk of me putting you in jail. I would think if I had the risk of going to jail just for not talking to a lawyer or bringing the names of the lawyer, I'd make sure I did it and I brought those names. Do you remember at all who you talked to?
After I started doing the process of getting this job, I was trying to get the money for lawyers.
But you don't know which lawyer you have or how much they charge if you haven't talked to any, right? Okay, so I'm gonna reset your case one more time. You need to get a lawyer hired, or you need to talk to 3 and bring me those names. And that doesn't mean just calling their office. It means actually talking to someone, getting a quote to find out who can represent you. Do you understand? All right, step in front of the clerk. Good morning. Are you Tiffany Ealer? Miss Ealer, did you get someone hired?
I'm gonna give it a check on Thursday, but I was waiting on that to clear it because it was so much. Then yeah, I'll be all right.
Okay, so if I reset you 1 week, you'll be able to
Yeah.
get that taken care of.
Yes.
Okay, I'll reset you 1 week. Now, if you get him hired this week, make sure you bring the reset notice to you because if you've hired him, it has the ability to send something in and talk to us and maybe the next court date goes away for a different one.
Okay.
But plan on coming unless he tells you otherwise. Okay, step up. Is it Kyle Walker? Yeah, Kyle Walker. Good morning, you're Darian Broussard. And Mr. Broussard, were you able to get someone hired?
Now, I was trying to, but he didn't accept my money because he don't take down payments. So
Who-
I talked to 5 other lawyers.
Who'd you talk to?
I talked to Judge Walker. He take 3,000 down, but I'll try to bring 1,000. And I talked with Mr. Ross. He takes like 2,000 cash. I talked to what's his name? Kelly, Mr. Kelly, law firm.
Mhm.
They want 5,000 cash.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go with like Mr. Ross.
Okay, do you think you'll be able to save up and get that taken
Yeah.
care of if I give you, all right, thank you for doing what I asked you to do. I'll give you one more reset. You can try to get Mr. Rojas hired. If that doesn't work, make sure you talk to some others and then we'll see what we can do next time. Good morning. Are you Ronnie Lonza?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Lonza, were you able to get someone hired?
No, I was not. I was going for a court appointment.
Did you talk to some lawyers?
The only person that I tried to go ahead and contact was Charlie Rojas. I don't exactly live near here. I live 4 hours away. And I definitely know that I cannot afford a lawyer.
Are you working?
I am working.
Where do you work?
Silver Pines Nursing Home and Rehabilitation Center.
Say it again, the first part.
Silver Pines Nursing Home.
Soda,
I'm a CNA.
okay. And what are your hours?
I work an average of about like 48 hours a week.
Okay. Why did you only talk to one lawyer when I asked you to talk to three or ordered you to talk to three?
Well, I wanted to go ahead and see how much I'm making. I have my pay stub. I get $500 taken out of each check for child support. I only make $15 an hour.
Okay.
And I have court fees from thing I'm on probation for already.
Where are you on probation?
I'm being supervised by Bastrop County, but it's originally in Medina.
Okay. For what offense?
Aggravated assault.
Is there a motion pending or anything
Yeah.
based on this case?
No, I have everything here.
Okay. I'm gonna have you fill out some paperwork this morning to see if you qualify for a court appointed lawyer. Make sure you fill it out accurately and completely. You're gonna swear under oath that it's all true and correct, and then I'll take a look at it.
Yes,
Step
sir.
in front of the clerk. Good morning. Are you Corbin Riley?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Riley, were you able to get a lawyer hired?
No,
Who'd y'all talk to?
the same as last time, Crenshaw, Bearden. I don't remember their names off the top of my head, but I got the folders in the car. I just forgot it this morning.
Why would you have left it in the car?
It's Monday, I'm so sorry.
It's Monday.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It just tired this morning and stuff. I came in here.
So that's not, you understand how silly that excuse sounds,
Yeah.
right? We're all tired. It's Monday.
It's not really an excuse. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Are you working?
Sometimes, just like maybe one or 2 days a week for my dad. He does contract business.
How old are you?
20.
So why aren't you doing something where you're working full time?
I'm waiting for this to be over, honestly, so I can.
Well, you can't wait for this to be over because you gotta have money so you can hire a lawyer,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So that's what we've gone through before.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've got to follow the instructions that I've given you. You've got to talk to lawyers. You've got to actually try to hire them, and you've actually need to go get a job. I mean, it's great that you can work a day or two for your dad, but if it's not full time, then you need to get a full time job.
Yes, ma'am.
There's plenty of people out there that are accepting applications and hiring. I'm going to reset your case for 30 days. You need to get a job within 30 days.
Yes, ma'am.
If you get one, bring a pay stub or something that proves that you got that job. If you don't get one, then you need to bring me every job, a list of every single one you've applied to. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You also need to talk to three lawyers so that when you do get a job and make some money, you'll know who you want to hire. Does that make sense? If you don't do all of that and bring that stuff to me, then your bond's going to be raised and you will go to jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Step in front of the clerk. Good morning. Are you Aaron Roberts?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Roberts, were you able to get someone hired?
No, ma'am. I did talk to 4 lawyers like you asked. I went to the interview like you asked. Wait on them to call me back. If they call me back with a felony. And I went to the DMV to get a ID to get a job.
At this point, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Second chances are being handed out, but they come with strict conditions. The judge has made one thing crystal clear: effort matters. No lawyer, no job, no proof. That a fast track back to jail. So ask yourself, are these defendants being treated fairly, or are they gambling with their freedom?
Good. All right. What lawyers you talked to?
I go on the paper today.
Thank you.
Duham Jones, like I told you, William Marcus Law Firm, Walker Law Firm, and I talked to a man named James Paget.
Okay.
So
So thank you for doing everything that I've asked you to do. I'm gonna have you fill out some paperwork this morning to see if you qualify for a court appointed lawyer.
yes, ma'am.
Make sure you fill it out accurately and completely because you're gonna swear under oath that it's all true and correct. Step in front of the clerk. You hired Mr. Kimmler.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're just checking on that. Okay, but you sent it yesterday?
Well, I sent it to Bree. She should have filed it.
I'm sorry.
I sent it to my secretary and then she files it. So
Okay.
you have to file it.
All right, so we'll just reset your case. Stay in touch with Mr. Kimmler and your bondsman, and they'll let you know when you need to be back.
Yes.
All right, you're free to go, sir.
Yes, sir.
John Tat Taylor. Good morning. You're John Tat Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Taylor, were you able to get someone hired?
No, I haven't, but I done talked to a few of them. I'm gonna try to hire one today. We're running town. Cause I called some of the local lawyers and I said Miss West and they're like, oh, you're just trying to get the very rude, cause you know, they say about, they know that you asked to, talk to 3 lawyers. But I got a retainer fee with me and I'm gonna, while I'm here, cause you know, I'm from Turner County. I'm gonna make sure I get one on today.
Who are you hiring today?
After James, I don't even know, because it's the same person my co-defendant got. And I think I'm gonna try to talk to him, so I'm gonna find somebody.
Now, sometimes they can and sometimes they can't represent co-defendants, so you have to make sure that that attorney knows. But how are you gonna hire him today if you don't even know his last name?
He my co-defendant, I'm gonna call him and get his information. I
Okay.
was doing that before I came in here. And I talked to him one time, he was like, oh, you just trying to talk to 3 lawyers, cause Miss West asked.
So well, here's the thing, when you call lawyers, it's to try to hire them. It's not just for that. So when you call, you don't need to say, Judge West told me to call. You need to say, I need to hire a lawyer. The point is to hire someone, not just to go through some
And when we
fake
started-
process
yeah,
where,
when we started talking and I said something like that, you know, he automatically like, that's what I was just doing.
okay, so then why are you gonna hire him if he didn't want to talk to you?
I will talk to him in person now, cause that was over the phone. No, my co-defendant said it was pretty good where he moving, but if he can't,
So here's the thing, I understand you're coming in from out of town, but for me, that doesn't matter. All right, you need to get someone hired before the next court date. Whoever it is, doesn't matter. If you've got the money to hire someone, then you need to get someone hired before the next court date. There's no excuses that I had to drive in or I couldn't do it. Get it
Yeah.
taken care of one way or the other, okay?
I will.
Step in front of the clerk. Good morning, you're
Morning.
Carl Whittington,
Yes, ma'am.
and were you able to get someone hired, Mr. Whittington?
Not yet. You told me to bring the face stubs to show you what I'm actually making now, like, so you can see like the difference, like I actually get something hired, probably soon. There's a little bit more time if you don't mind. There we go.
Who are you planning on hiring when you save up the money?
I was gonna be the Gert Kelly, I think it was.
Okay. That's to the baby.
I got 3 of them. This is like per week.
Thank you. All right, thank you for bringing that on. We'll give you one more reset. You need to try to get someone hired with him before that next court date, all right? Step in front of the clerk. Good morning, sir. You are Rakeem Allen. This is cause numbers 25 DCCR 1163, 1164, and 1697. Mr. Burbank, what is the announcement?
Your Honor, I believe that some more offense is coming. You're still in the discovery process.
Okay,
I would ask for a reset. I have talked to the prosecutor. And that was the indication.
Judge, I did speak with Mr. Burbank's office last week. They filed a letter of rep on the new case that was recently indicted. So I do have all of that, and I don't mean to ask this to catch Mr. Burbank off guard or anything, but based on Mr. Allen's prior criminal history and these offenses, with the court, just take a quick look at the bonds, maybe.
I don't even have the new case. If it was indicted last week, it's not on our docket. What's the cost number of that? And what's the charge?
It's a possession. It's 25 DCCR 1697.
Oh, I have that one.
Yes, the new indictment didn't come last week, but it was just caught up with these other cases.
Okay, because that actually, well, so the offense date from the possession is actually 2024. And then it was after that that we had the other possession and the evading. Are you wearing a drug patch?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I don't see that we've had any. It's like you tested positive back in court. What was it, last October? You've been wearing a drug patch ever since? Have you gotten a change every 2 weeks like you're supposed to? Let's do this just to make sure, since I don't see anything, let's have you tested this morning before we do a reset and then we'll go from there. And is there any other case you expect something else? Do you expect another case other than these 3?
When I initially talked, I don't know this one. I mean, I'm not trying to act, but
when we talked, I thought there were a couple more out there, but maybe not.
And I'll look into that.
Yeah, let me hold it while he gets a drug test. Can you look
Okay.
in to see
Sure.
if there's something else and y'all talk because I want to know what's going on. Have a seat in the jury box. Good morning, you're Jermaine Young.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is 24 DCCR 0916. I have a note that we've been waiting on some DNA results. Do we know where we are
I
on
can
that?
speak to that, Your Honor. I was out of town Thursday and Friday, but before I left, I prepared these cases for today and saw on the docket DNA pending. Not finding anything, taking a brief look, I contacted the detective on the case to ask him about it. I've read my email with to Mr. Burbank this morning. And it's his belief that it was never sent off because there were never swabs taken because there was a delayed outcry.
Okay. So there's not any and none anticipated.
As I stand here now, I don't believe so, but I did tell Mr. Burbank I would continue to research that issue.
Okay, well, if we don't, that's what we've kind of been anticipating or waiting on or thought we were waiting on. And so I'm gonna do one last reset. This will be the
Yeah,
final
one last
reset.
reset. I mean, we were here like 3 or 4 times and
We've-
it was in the lab and.
Yeah, we've talked
we
about.
talked about calling them and was told.
We did,
they
yeah.
called, and now all of a sudden,
Yeah, so let's just do one more reset and if for some reason that was just not good information, then that's what it is.
And
If there's something out there that you find, obviously, we'll talk about it at the next court date.
that's fine.
All right.
To do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Stay
you.
in touch with Mr. Burbank and your bondsman. They'll let you know when you need to come back.
Ron, I have to go to CDC for something. I'll come back.
Okay.